Welcome to Make Pods Great Again. I'm your host, John Woolley, content creator for the Instagram page Make Wads Great Again. We are back. Nikki, how are you?
Hey, I'm surviving. How are you?
I'm good. And I think we're going to have a blast tonight because we've got the Buttery Bros with us.
Hey, guys.
What's up, guys?
What's up? Good to be here.
It's so fun to see you. I kind of wish we were, at our scheduled events rather than virtually, but I miss your faces. I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Nice ears.
Thank you. I'm rocking the Snapchat filters on Zoom. It's my new brand. It's also making it so that I never, ever have to get ready for a Zoom call.
I don't want the bunny ears, so she won't give them to me. I
gotta figure out how. I don't need to share programs. I'm bad at digital things.
I would look great in bunny ears. I would not look. I right now do not look as good as Marston does with that quarantine beard, though. Look at that thing,
dude. Yeah, dude. This thing is. I'm going as long as I need to go. This is actually the longest my beard's ever been. So.
Ooh, it's a fierce beard. It's a strong look.
Yeah, I need to be like carrying an axe and hacking at some wood. That's kind of the look I'm going for.
Yeah, you should be wearing plaid.
Lumber sexual, bro.
Oh, that's a new word. That is a new word I'm going to start using a lot.
TM.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Make wads great again. Lumber sexual.
Make lumber sexual great again.
Amazing. Well, shit. Like, what are you guys up to? How has quarantine been treating y'all?
I mean, we're still making Buttery Bros shows out of my garage. Amazing. And still interacting with a lot of different athletes. Like we had Jamie Green on our show last week, and we got to catch up with her and how she's doing and recap a little bit of her CrossFit Games experience. We put a bunch of rubber bands around a watermelon recently until it exploded.
Like you do. Like you do.
Of course.
Like you do in these trying times. We've made our own homemade butter. That was a fun little thing that we put out to our fans, to our peeps. And I just had knee surgery, so I'm kind of taking it easy. I tore my meniscus last Friday, or a week ago from Friday. So I was able to get in and see a doctor like right away because they're not doing any elective surgeries right now. And the doc looked at me and he was like, "It doesn't really seem like you can walk. So that's not really elective. So let's get you right in here." So I'm already healing up. And
wait, did you partially tear it and then you were just like, nah, fuck it, go all the way?
Well, I think that like I've torn my meniscus in this knee before, but I think that it was just wearing out again. And it would occasionally like slip and slide in there, and it was very uncomfortable until like me and Heber were doing dumbbell thrusters out here the other day, and it just slipped out permanently. And I was like, okay, now there's no more going. That's it. So I had to go see a doctor, and turned out that it was way out of whack and out of place. But thankfully it was a pretty quick surgery and got in and out, and I'm walking around again already. So I'm good.
Nice.
I want to hear more about this making butter. Which one of you guys has better churning skills?
Well, Marston figured out that you don't need a whole lot. You just need whipping cream in a shaker bottle. So
seriously? That's it?
That's it. So we got heavy whipping cream. We put it in the shaker bottle. I would add salt. We did not do that, but it took us like 45 minutes of shaking the bottle. So if you watch the episode, it looks kind of weird because we're interviewing people while we're shaking the bottle under the table. But yeah, it took a long time, and we got 4 balls of butter that were like this big each, like a half inch.
Yeah, 2 butter balls, and then we made our some Traeger pancakes, and the rest is buttery.
I guarantee I could do it in 35 minutes. Guaranteed.
Oh, okay. You've got a lot of shake experience.
I've got a lot of
professional over here.
I am a pro. I've got a lot of shake experience.
You got that shake wig.
Yes.
I really appreciate that you guys are all in on butter right now. It's nice.
Yeah,
100%.
Butter, cakes. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, obviously, like I think the vast majority of people enjoy pancakes, but like when you can actually make it your mascot and like really get behind it, that's when magic happens, I guess.
Mine would be donuts.
Oh, donuts. Oh yeah. Only when they're hot though. Like if I get like a crusty old donut, I'm just like, or even just like a fresh donut, but like when it comes out hot, that's what I'm interested in. Like I'll go into a donut shop and be like, yo, what's hot right now? And that's where I base my decision off of the donut I'm getting. Because
I need hot donuts.
A hot donut will beat any other donut that's just like room temp any day.
Have you ever had Duck Donuts? The brand?
Yeah, not a fan.
No?
No.
Oh, like, they're always hot though. That's why I figured you'd be a fan.
Oh, I haven't really got familiar with my surroundings where I live now, but when I lived in Santa Cruz, there was this donut shop called Farrell's, and it was like right next to like where all the homeless hung out, and it was like a bad part of town, but you could go in there at any point in the day, and I'd be like, yo, what's hot? And you'd look around like, hey man, we got fritters coming up soon, you better stick around. So
or Cronuts, dude, they're
Cronuts, yeah,
they legendary.
Amazing. I have no off switch with that shit. We have like a gourmet donut shop in town that has like the kind that are like as big as your face, and it has like cereal and shit on it, and I'm like, oh,
see, don't go too fancy on the donut, right? Like I just
just need some bread.
Like a simple, like give me your simple glaze, like do what's been proven, you know, like don't be putting bacon and all this like fancy glitz and glam. I just like the original stuff.
See, you know? I will judge a donut shop on their plain glazed, but then I'm gonna need to be impressed.
Okay.
Donut shop.
So first date is a glaze. That's right. Second date, you want to see what the fixins can be.
Second date, I'm gonna go all the way.
Got it. Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Good to know.
That's right. Heber, what's home like for you right now?
Home life's great. I just hang out with my kids every day. I got to spend more time with them in the last 6 weeks than I did the previous 6 weeks. But yeah, it's been great. I hang out at home. I work out with my kids every day, but I wake up and roll 5 feet and work from my desk, which is right next to my bed. And then, but yeah, we're still producing a lot of content. We're still trying to see, like everyone talks about how they have all this free time now that they're on quarantine. I don't know where that free time went because I don't
Me
have that.
either.
Same.
I'm like busier now than I ever have been.
Yeah, super busy and like I feel like I'm wasting my quarantine time. I need to like take a week off and do nothing and just, catch up on some Netflix. But yeah, trying to stay productive and just being creative in terms of like what kind of content we're creating. And then also with the push of our movie, we got super busy the first 3 or 4 weeks of quarantine, promoting that, building that out and shifting to an earlier release for that movie.
Guys, another friggin' hit out there in the movie world. I mean,
for real.
Shit, this must have been like a completely new experience. I know you guys have been doing the docs for years, and obviously we hit, a couple snags a few years ago and things went by the wayside over at HQ, but I feel like this particular film, The Fittest Film, was like a completely new experience just because we had this like brand new shake-up system at games and like a weird new, I don't know, like everything was weird and new and difficult to navigate. I mean, did you feel that way when you were making it, producing it, now that it's out?
Yeah, it was definitely new. Go ahead, Mars.
Yeah, I was going to say it was definitely new. Obviously, like we used to work for the company for like 10 years. And so it was a whole new challenge to be able to figure out how to produce this stuff independent of them. But I mean, also put together an entire team at the games like the week before, and also produce Buttery Bros shows at the same time and have it all kind of be successful. It was challenging, but it was like the most growth that I've ever had in a year, and super like happy and glad that we were able to get the movie out during quarantine when everybody was at home, like hungry for content. And yeah, it seems like so far anyways, like the reception's been great. So
people were like hammering me with DMs talking about you guys releasing that early. Just like they were dying for it. Matter of fact, I can't remember an event where I've had more people messaging me, asking me if I've seen it, if I knew it was coming out early. Like I got some sort of inside track to what you guys are doing. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, why would I know? Email them.
Everybody thinks John knows everything about everything.
I know. John's become a news source in the last 18 months.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous.
So we had a lot of people who were like, hey, why didn't you tell this athlete story? Why didn't you tell this story? One story that I wanted to tell that we ran out of time for is your story, John, which is how did you go from making a meme account to all of a sudden the news account for the sport?
I'll tell you what, when you guys do the documentary for this season and you call it the asterisk, then you can tell my story on that one. I think that'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be right there.
I think that's an excellent title for the next documentary. This should be a fun year for you guys. Like, this is the most bizarre year ever. If you're ever going to do a documentary, this is the crazy year to do it. For sure.
It's
absolutely.
Zoom interviews
every year
from here on out. That's all. Zoom is all I know right now, so it makes total sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, like there's been a lot of speculations with what the games could be or might be. Either way, well, not either way, but if they somehow happen and if they happen in Aromas, I think that would be a really interesting story to tell. And I think that if we're able to tell that, that's something that we'd be up for. And it's unclear right now what's going to happen with the games, but we're kind of just patiently waiting in the wings, seeing what happens with the world. So
I think people really love, though, the way you guys, like, you really get a story out of it. Like, it's not just a documentary on people exercising. Like, you really get to the heart of what people are doing. And you know, this one, at least the last few weeks, has been particularly fun watching the cat fight between Vellner and Castro.
I know it's been super interesting because Dave will hit up Heber and he's like, "Hey, I need a clip," and we're like, "Hey, what clip is it?" And it's like usually a clip at an athlete's expense that he wants. And we're like, "Give him the clip. He's got like 800,000 followers. Like,
yeah, dude,
it's free promotion." And he probably sees it that way too. But it's been funny to see the back and forth between him and Vellner and even Matt. And it's all good promotion for us. And we'll just keep, shoveling the coal or whatever it is into the fire.
Do you think he's doing it to have fun, or is he just got, skin so thin he's like my grandmother? Like,
go ahead, Eve.
I think I would say that I think he's had fun with it. Like, for us, it's kind of cool because Dave hasn't had a microphone for the last part of 2018 and 2019. He didn't really do much, right? So for him to come out and finally start talking again about the sport, it's really cool for us to have it be related to our movie. In terms of his, I think Dave has fun with this, and I think Pat Vellner said in an interview that he sees it as Dave taking note from the comments from the athletes. And yeah, he's got a little bit of pushback, but he's taking his job seriously. So hopefully that affects the games in a good way moving forward.
Yeah, I never have a problem with Dave weighing in. Like, I think people are so critical of him when, like, everyone in the world gets to, like, spew their opinions online. Like, why can't he? I've never had a problem with that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I love watching him at least defend his position. I mean, you could argue, people argue this stuff. They get really passionate about the sport. And I love that people are so passionate about it. And you can argue it 100 different ways. But I love the fact that he does come in and defend what he's doing. Because, I mean, bluntly, the guy's a great programmer. Like, he is really, really good at his job. So I'm happy he's willing to do it. It's just been really funny to watch those two kind of go back and forth. And it helps that Vellner's very funny. So
yes. I don't think he'd do that to someone that couldn't take it very well.
Totally.
Like Pat can take it very well. Like if it was a female who we caught at the wrong time and was very emotional and said things on camera that they probably regret, I don't see Dave really burying them more than they already have, where I feel like he knows Pat can stand up for himself and it makes for great, not that females couldn't, but just that he knows Pat's, they have a good relationship and knows his confidence level and wit.
How are you guys balancing when you're out in the field? Like, I saw you guys down at Wadapalooza, and it was really interesting, like, watching you guys walk around and you're filming or doing whatever, but you've also got your own celebrity. Like, how are you balancing that between, like, you're trying to capture content, but you've also got people pulling at you, as fans?
John's asking for a friend.
I am. Nobody pulls at me like they pulled at them. Believe me.
It's pretty new, to be honest, like, because we were kind of behind the scenes for so long until we started doing stuff on YouTube, and now it's become kind of our main gig, really. And I'm humbled, and I'll take as many photos as I can before I have to be at the next heat, so I'm thrilled that people want to do that. It's kind of makes it hard navigating through a place like Wadapalooza, but it's like I know that our fans are, like, pretty loyal to, like, what we're doing, and, like, they're pretty diehard. So it's like, I'll take the time that I need to like show everybody some attention and, like, have a conversation and get to know some people. So
yeah. I love it. I think my favorite part of your growth, the two of you over the last couple years, has been stepping in front of the camera a little bit more often, because I don't know, like we've known you for so long, and you know, the people who've worked media and people who've worked behind the scenes and know how wonderful and hilarious and, you know, excited and awesome you guys always have been. And so like now that the world gets to see it too, I just think that's like the most fun sort of expansion of your work and what you've done. And I love that you embrace it, because that switch must have been a little bit bizarre at first.
Yeah, I mean, it was, especially for me, like, I know, like, when we first started, like, Heber has a very, like, comfortable presence on camera, and he's like, you know, he can deliver a message really well. But for me, I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of like, when I have to like be told to like tell something or like present something, I get nervous, you know, and I kind of always like had this like nerves about being on camera until like I was just doing it more and more and getting more reps and feeling more like, hey, I can like really kind of be myself, and I don't have to like try and project a different image. And like I feel like I'm pretty authentic to who I am on video, or who I am in real life. And as things progress, it's just become like, it like pulls more of my own character out of me, because I'm like becoming more comfortable doing it, I guess. And it's been a lot of fun, because like now we have a pretty wide variety of things that we do and go and like travel that we get to go do. And it's like crazy to think that we're kind of created it within the last year. And yeah, I don't know if you want to go ahead and speak to that, Heaves.
It's just been fun. All of it's fun. It's fun to be in front of the camera, and it's fun to, like to Marston's point, it's very humbling to be at Wodapalooza and people pulling you different directions to want to take photos with you. But they're also very respectful to our time, which has been awesome. Where like, I think people understand we have dual roles, where we're creating content and we're not just there to take photos. And so when we can, we'll take photos and greet and talk to people. And I just love meeting people all the time anyways. So it's fun to make and meet new friends wherever we go. And then if we're like, hey, we have to go because we have this thing we have to do, everyone's really respectful and has been very courteous and supportive in both what we're doing with the Buttery Bros and then with our movies too. So it's been an awesome ride.
So like,
yeah, and then
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's cool to be able to like progress what we're doing, and as far as like our creativity and stuff. And like Heber will come to me with an idea, and he'll just be like, I don't know, I just don't take me too serious right now. This thing's gonna be awesome. Just trust me. And then I'm like, okay, you know. And then we get into a crazy scenario, and I'm just like, wow, this is actually like, I'm so glad that we're doing this. And it's actually forced us to do a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have otherwise, because it's like, you know, like we know what makes for good content. And like, if it's like jumping out of an airplane, I wouldn't have done that. But it's like, well, if we get video of it and we're able to put it into our show, I'm like, I'm a little bit more inclined to jump out of a plane, you know? So it's stuff like that. It's been really fun. That's like pushed me as a person to like get out of my comfort zone and try things that are a little bit scary.
I just feel like you guys are so, like, you're everywhere all the time. And so being home and being quarantined, like, it's awesome that you're still finding ways to like make content and, you know, talk to athletes and work out in your garage. But like, it's gotta be just a completely different pace of life. Like, how are you dealing with that?
Well, the pace is great. Like, especially for the first part of 2020, like January, we were just finishing the movie. And then we went to London, right into Spain, where we went to Barcelona and then Madrid, and we were home for a week. But that week we were home. We were with Matt Fraser here in town. And then the day he left, the next day we flew to Sydney. We got back from Sydney and we were home for 24 hours and we went to Wodapalooza. And then we got home and we were going to have like 2 or 3 weeks before we were on another whirlwind trip to, we weren't sure if Bali was going to happen, but we were going to San Diego, to LA, to potentially Bali, to Blot on the Waves, home, then Portugal. So like looking at that calendar schedule to now where I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to leave town again, but it's like, we still work really hard. We're still putting out an episode once a week, and we're trying to be more consistent now more than ever, because we can have sort of a schedule. But that means that typically on Sunday night at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, Marston and I are texting back and forth about the edit so that we have it ready by Monday when we want to publish. Mm-hmm. And so we're still working long hours on ridiculous days to continue to create content. So the pace is just easier because I can sleep more. and spend, again, more sleep and more time with the family is probably the biggest difference.
That's cool.
See, Nikki, this is what it's like when you're a professional. See, what Nikki and I do is like one of us will just text the other and go, "Hey, you want to do something today?" And the other one's like, "No, I'm drunk. That's not today."
It's pretty much how quarantine's been going for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, every time we have somebody new on the show, I'm like, hey, we really don't know what we're doing. So just bear with us while we figure this shit out.
You guys are good conversationalists, so it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just like to hang.
Yeah, it's been fun. We get a lot of weird shit said on here, so that's good. And Nikki likes to cuss a lot, so that's even better. You know,
I've been working on it lately. I've been
Oh,
failing miserably, but I've been working on it.
You've been working on cussing better or cussing less?
Cussing less.
No, okay. I thought you were I'm working on my alliteration when I swear.
Yes,
you know, like
I'm working on rhyming. Not a lot rhymes with fuck, but I'm trying to no. So we like Mars is sort of starting to say, like, we don't know what the hell is going on for the rest of the season here. And we were like, we had Sean on the other day and we were kind of just like running scenarios and figuring out like, you know, oh, if we go here, we go to the ranch, like what athletes are going to go? And do we do teams? Do we do this? Do we do that? What is your like best case scenario? What do you guys hope will happen with the games in a couple months?
Me and Heber have been talking about this a lot lately. I mean, obviously Madison, I think, is pretty much out. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think the best case scenario is Aromas, because one, it's Dave's property and it's been there before. There's roots there. I think that they can pull off a cool event with a cool test. Obviously, there's not going to be spectators, I don't think, but that in itself seems like a really cool story because one, there's like, you know, you had this season and all the events got canceled, but you have some athletes that have already qualified. So I think that, you know, it's just going to be, I don't know how people recover there. There's not like any like hotels and
there's like nothing around.
I don't even know how they did the games there in the past, but I feel like they could still do a really cool test and it would make for a really cool documentary. So what about you, Heber? What's the best case scenario?
Yeah, I think best case scenario is they have the CrossFit Games in Aromas. We're allowed access, and starting in like June to late June, Mars and I start on the road again. But you know, I don't know. It's hard to put any weight or value into it because it's outside the circle of what I can't control. So right now we know we can create these weekly episodes and create a format for a show for that, and then going down the road towards the CrossFit Games, it's just like, man, I can hope for something, and if it goes great. I just trust that if they're going to do it, they're going to do it right, and hopefully it's an in-person competition in Aromas, and I think that would be awesome. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, and I think worst case scenario is that they do an online competition that is just I just don't feel like if it goes online, it's really worth doing, personally.
I'm kind of with you. I guess I just am like, I'm overwhelmed at the amount of virtual online shit that is happening right now. Like there's a Zoom class for every single thing, which is great. It's all wonderful, but like it doesn't feel different or special or elevated at this point because like that's how we're doing life and that's how we're making the shit work. And I appreciate that. But like the games to me needs to feel different. It needs to feel like that kind of championship and just another online competition when there's like 4 a week and here's a new one and here's a sanctional that's online now. It's like, it's all the same shit.
Yeah. And it's like tuning into Matt Fraser winning his 5th in his garage just doesn't sound that cool.
No, it doesn't.
Because he's going to win again. And so is Tia, you know,
of course.
Again.
But I still want to watch it. Like, I know it's like again for the millionth time, but like as a fan, I still want to watch it.
Yeah, who doesn't want to see him win?
Yeah,
but not in the garage.
Not in the garage, yeah. And it's like
because then they'll win, and then they're like, okay, I guess I'll find out in 3 or 4 weeks if I won or not.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to you on the review process. We're gonna need to like scrape some of those reps off the top or something, you know?
Right, and like testing goes out the window in that scenario too. Like, nah.
Yeah, testing
potentially not, but it's just a very different and not exciting. It's not glamorous.
I think if they can figure out a way to pull this off, though, it can be a gigantic win for the sport itself. I mean, you think about it, like, there's a high degree of likelihood we're going to have, at a minimum, limited or weird college football, pro football, no baseball. Like, all these sports are not going to be active like they've always been active. And people are dying for something on ESPN. It's like, right now you're just watching two guys playing catch. Like, it's just dumb. There's just nothing on,
Got a pretty sweet documentary that they might like.
Yeah, well, that's the point.
Hey.
That's the point. I think, like, this is an opportunity for CrossFit to come out as a real sport. I don't think it's ever really been viewed as one by the kind of the mainstream, and given the opportunity where there's nothing else on and people can see it's actually kind of fun to watch, could be a big shot in the arm for the sport itself.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
All right, I have another very important question.
Dig.
If it weren't pancakes, what is your alternative?
Waffle.
Well, hold on a second. I think that's cheating. Waffles are just square pancakes. There's got to be an alternative. There's got to be an alternative breakfast item that you would put up there as like a close second. And I'm dying
Breakfast
to know.
burrito.
Okay, see?
Yeah.
I count that,
sure.
Mars. I don't think you can go waffle. Waffle's just a square pancake. It's been pressed.
It's a pancake with a syrup trap. If we're really getting down to
it's
it.
a pancake with abs.
That's true.
So how did you guys come up? How did
Hmm.
you guys come up with this name, the Buttery Bros?
Well, it was a term that we would say, like, whenever I would like hit a nice shot at the games, like a well-composed finish, and a person up on their podium with their hands up, I'm like, dude, you gotta see the shot. It's super buttery. And then we would always say that, and they would, like, Heber would show me something he got, and I'm like, oh, that's super buttery, dude. And then we just said it so much that it was kind of the term that we knew that we were gonna use to kind of be our thing. And then we were like, what do we call it? So we buttery guys, or we buttery boys, or then we just like, Buttery Bros. So that's kind of what we stuck with. And then we went to Wadapalooza right after we'd launched our first video, and then, like, people were walking around, they're like, is that the Buttery Bros? Are you guys the Buttery Bros? And we're like, yeah.
Oh shit, it's sticking.
It's sticking. Yeah. So yeah. And then after that, it's just like, now we are the Buttery Bros. And then, there's other imposters out there, like Margarine Men. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No,
But,
stop it.
yeah. Chandler
That's
Smith
not
and Noah
real.
Olson. Yeah.
Yeah, Chandler Smith and Noah Olson. They've claimed that name.
The Margarine Men.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Can't even make that up. See,
Well,
Nikki,
John's been going by the buttermilk baldy, but we didn't want to say it out
Oh,
loud to you
Buttermilk
guys.
Baldy.
Yeah,
I
good.
like it.
no, I'm gonna work butter churn in somehow. I don't know how I'm gonna work it
Okay.
out.
Ugh.
See, Nikki and I couldn't do this because she cusses so much. We'd be like the Fuckery Twins or some horrible name. We'd be walking around Wadapalooza. Are those the Fuckery Twins? Yep, that's them.
Us, hey. What's up?
And fun fact is, like, right after we came up with that name, Heber's wife made us our logo with the pancakes and everything. And then from that day forward, we ate pancakes, and it's not the worst thing to have to eat,
No.
Wait, pancakes were only like post Buttery Bro.
We needed something that the butter could be on, because we didn't want just a floating thing of melting butter. So I was like, they put like a face on a stick of butter, and I it's probably got to be melting on like pancakes. And she drew up this thing, and I was like, perfect. And I think we went through like two iterations of that, and then I think it was we did an acid bath episode, then 2 episodes at Wadapalooza. And then we went to London for an episode. And when we got back from London for 19.2 or 3, it was 19.3, we were going to Diablo CrossFit to do the open workout for 19.3. And that morning I was like, we need something other than just going to do the workout to make this more entertaining, because I didn't want it to just be a workout blog. So I said, Marston, why don't we test pancakes and see which is the best, Kodiak cakes or birch benders, and who can make the best one. And so we had a little cook-off in that episode, and that was the first episode where we had pancakes in the episode, and it caught on. We now Waking Cake.
A waking cake is like the thing. It's
Yep.
it's the vessel for the butter, if you will.
Yeah, we just put in our last show our top 3 of all time Waking Cakes. So we went through a lot of honorable mentions and some dishonorable mentions, and then
Ooh.
yeah.
Yep.
Can you give us a preview of what's a dishonorable mention? Like, what does someone have to do to really fuck up a pancake for you?
Go to anywhere in the European region, and it's probably a 95% shot that the pancakes are gonna suck.
Shots fired at Europe. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Like, I don't think that apricots should ever be on pancakes, and we ran into a few. Apricots is not a good topping to a pancake.
Apricots.
Although
like
pear
apricots?
works.
Oh, pear
works.
Okay.
Yeah, pear, I had a pear caramel pancake that was like, whew, that was some good, and it was in Europe, so that other 5% might be really good.
Yeah, it was funny. Heber immediately throws Europe under the bus. He's like, but I did have a pear pancake there, so there's some good common ground there.
Europe totally sucks. Never going back there, except that pear pancake place.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to breakfast in Europe. I don't know. It's just not the same. I'm not a big breakfast in Europe. They got the continental, but I'm like,
you got you don't like runny eggs and soggy bacon?
Yeah. It is like. Go ahead.
Who eats beans in breakfast? Come on. I'm like, why are you even optioning? Why is this an option right now?
It is such a distinctly American thing, like gorging yourself on breakfast pastry.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I am into it. So.
See, Nikki, this is how it's done, though. If you're going to insult like a continent, you have to do the whole continent. They're not picking specific countries. Like Nikki went in and insulted Canada, and then we just got pounded with messages from people just railing on Nikki for hating Canadians.
It's still happening.
What did Canada do to
you? They were there. They were.
Oh man,
America's hat.
Oh man.
I was taken like way out of context in a Craig Ritchie video. This was like last year at DCC where he was like, "Oh, but aren't you Canadian?" And I like pretended to be really offended. I was like, "Ah, you think I'm Canadian? Oh my God!" And then like people came out of the fucking woodwork being like, "Cannot believe you were so offended to be considered Canadian." Like it's still happening.
I am from Ohio. Have some respect.
Yeah, seriously. Yes. I am from the bottom of that area. Come on now. God, every so often I'll still get a DM that's like, "I'm unfollowing you because you don't like Canadians." I was like, what?
Hey, for the record, just I love Canadians. Patrick Valney for life. Patty Valney.
Patty Valney alert.
Yeah.
You guys cannot profiteer off of my hating Canada, okay?
Okay.
You think they'd be nicer? I mean, they have free healthcare, socialism, like
good maple syrup.
Good maple syrup. Great beer, like free weed, like weed everywhere. You think they'd be happier?
Countrywide. Yeah,
I know.
Seems like a great place to me.
I know. You think they'd be happier, but not so much.
Are they not happy? What do you mean?
They're not happy. They're not happy with Nikki. They may be happy in general, but
I think in general they're a very happy bunch and very apologetic.
That's right.
Like
I'm sorry.
I think they'd be like, "I'm sorry, Nikki, that you don't like our country. I'm going to unfollow you, but I'm sorry that I'm doing this."
Yeah, no, I didn't find any of those people.
No, she got the few random mean Canadians. There are a few.
I don't know, you guys. It just happened.
Well, we'll get them. Why don't you guys name a couple of countries in Germany, or name Germany, or just pick a country at large, and we'll let you guys get some hate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that one.
Oh well, it was worth a shot. Totally
guys,
worth a shot.
What do you guys have coming up in terms of projects? I know you're still churning out the content. Anybody cool coming on next, or what's going on?
Well, we're doing a lot of virtual stuff, kind of like this.
Yeah.
And so coming up on the show, I think the only guests we have like dialed down. Usually we'll start to reach out like now, like after this phone call, I'm gonna start throwing out texts because we shoot on Thursdays or Fridays, and then we edit over the weekend and release on Monday. The next guest that we have confirmed, and this is all subject to change, is we're going to work out with our friend Steve Cook, who is
heard of him, the Swolger himself.
The Swolger, just a handsome gentleman out of southern Utah that has graced the covers of many fitness magazines, and he's gonna put us through an upper body swole pump session.
Okay, that's like your favorite thing these days.
Yeah, well, Marston can do.
Yeah, that's all I could do. I'm not really, I'm not bike ready yet. The knee, we got to go see the doctor tomorrow, and he's going to be like, "Hey, you're actually healing up much faster than I thought. So why don't you just go strap on some power cleans or something?"
Yeah.
I'm just hoping we can get some sprint ladders going.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
It's too soon.
I'm
Too soon.
gonna say, like, I've had this knee injury for a while. Heber's been beating me. So, now that I'm all patched up,
Ooh.
Oh, that's what it's gonna take, huh?
I still want to do another sprint against you because you beat me when we were in Spain, and I'm gonna say that was patched up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, how is he beating me? There's got to be an excuse for this, and I have one now. So.
Oh, right. It was definitely the knee. For sure the knee. 100%.
Yeah, it was the knee.
Never mind that I dusted you by like 15 meters on a 100-meter sprint.
It was not that much.
Not even close.
It was like a rabbit's length at least.
Well, I was talking to somebody about this at Wadapalooza, but I think next year we need an all media gauntlet. We need you guys,
down.
Nikki.
We kind of like wanted to do that this year. We tried to get as many. Whoop ended up kind of taking over, and we had our Whoop giveaway people. But West Coast Classic, they wanted to do that. They wanted to have us in a big heat with a bunch of other people like you guys to throw down in a big media throwdown. I think it'd be awesome.
That sounds terrible, but I'm in.
Yeah. But you got to do like sprints, like full out sprints while holding a camera. So
right,
part
of
the
course.
Yeah.
I haven't worked those muscles yet. The like steady arm in front of you muscles.
Yeah.
Just
not ready for that.
Some 15s and hold it like this. And
then
good practice.
We'll review the footage and be like, how's your composition? Okay, well you kind of lost the athlete here.
You can't just run fast. You got to nail the shot.
Yeah.
Damn, it's so complicated.
Well, I'm 49 years old, so I think I should get like some sort of handicap. Like you should let me use my iPhone. I just run around, just I don't need a full camera. Just maybe a little Fisher Price camera. I don't know, like something small.
We'll get you a GoPro Max, so you just get everything.
Just strap it right to his face. Just strap it to his head.
Yeah,
put it on top.
Mm-hmm.
We'll strap it on top of his dome, so the bottom of the image is just this glare coming off.
A lot of glare coming off of that dome.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, this is a good look. Come on.
We used to do it.
Yeah.
We did it years ago at regionals. We would like always start strong in like the first weekend of regionals, where like all the media people from like, we'd be like at different parts of the world.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna work out together.
Yeah, we're all gonna do this. We're gonna do the same one this weekend, and we'll do it again next weekend, and we'll see who, whatever. And like 2 weekends in, we were all like, fuck it, let's just go get burgers.
Yeah.
Those regional weekends used to be gnarly.
Yeah, seriously. Though it hasn't really gotten any better. Like they were, 12, 14-hour days, and that shit hasn't changed. That's still sanctionals. That's still everything.
Yeah, no, it's even better because there's more of them.
Yeah, right.
The worst, I could still the worst year for like doing media for CrossFit ever was 2012. Because like in 2012, they wanted a video from every heat of every regional competition for the whole weekend. So it was like you're cutting highlight videos of the team event in Latin America. I'm like, who's gonna watch this stuff? Like I was like
heat one.
Yeah, but like it was like the most overproduced, like not overproduced. It was like definitely quantity over quality back then. But it was like, hey man, we got to feed the machine here. And I think since then they've like obviously gotten rid of everybody, and they don't even do that anymore. But I remember 2012 was just like, oh man, we're gonna make 118 videos by Sunday. I was like, I don't know how to do this, but somehow made it happen. So
yeah, we honed it pretty good for the few years after that. But yeah, in the beginning, it was definitely still working out the kinks.
Yeah, trying to figure out how the internet worked.
Yeah, minor details, and there was every intention of like working out and being fit and like carrying on afterwards, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I think I'll just be up in my hotel room with the Papa John's. So
yeah,
that's Heber's go-to.
Yeah, Papa John's is my go-to at regionals. Like at one time a weekend for sure, I'm ordering up some Papa John's barbecue chicken pizza, no bacon. Get that out of here. Maybe pineapple. No.
Why would you not want bacon on there?
I don't want that extra fat.
Oh yeah, that's gonna really drag you down.
This one slice of bacon's really gonna tip me over.
It's gonna mess me up. No, I don't like the texture of it. I want just my chicken, my sauce, my cheese.
Okay.
Wow.
See, I
It was
love
like-
listening to all you media guys talk about the good old days, because in those days I was just sitting on the couch going, this live feed sucks.
Meanwhile, we're like pouring our heart and soul, and like sweating, like blood dripping, and just trying to get this live feed to work. And like every time we get a small win, we're like, high five, we did it, whatever. And everyone at home is like, this sucks.
Yeah, that's my only memory of it. That's it. That's it.
And that's kind of why me and Heber separated ourselves from live production pretty early on. We're like, okay, there's too many things that can go wrong.
Opinions. Yeah.
Too many opinions. I'm like, I'll just be in post-production making it look sexy. Okay.
Y'all left me out to dry.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
happily.
I fully support. I fully support what you do.
You know, it is
Yeah,
amazing how far everything's come, though, and like your guys' impact to it, to me, is like really impressive. Like, you know, Nikki and I were talking last night to Tracy, who owns the Salt Bike, and Nikki mentioned that she's been CrossFitting since 2010, and I've been doing it since 2011. So we're both old enough to remember in the days when everybody's wearing Innovates, and like you wanted to find out who won the CrossFit games, you had to like pick up the phone and call somebody because it wasn't anywhere. Like there was no live feed, there wasn't shit. Like it was just people talked about it, you know?
Yeah.
No,
And
there was a live feed in 2010, and they broadcast the entire day, every event. And there was like 5 hosts that never left. Like they worked from 7 in the morning
Oh yeah.
until 10 o'clock at night, and
They're just
got
looking
like 0 breaks.
Yeah, and they
Super-
like couldn't like pee, right? They like could not
Super
get out.
crispy. Yeah.
And you couldn't find like where the heat started or ended. So it was just like this 14-hour video that was just nonstop. That was not very helpful for the sport.
well, I think what you guys are doing now, though, that's so interesting to me is that, you know, not only are you covering the sport, but you're involved in it. Like, and your content isn't just, all right, let's watch Matt work out really fast. You know, like you're doing really fun and funny stuff. And for me, I think that's where the community is. Like that's the really, I'm not trying to butter you up, so to speak, but, you're welcome.
Well,
I've waited the whole podcast for that joke.
I must be a dad.
I know I am.
Yes.
But I mean, seriously, like, you know, you start thinking about what you guys are doing. And I think that's why people gravitate to your YouTube page, is that, you know, they can see themselves in you and what you're doing. You know, like you're actually out there doing the workouts, and you're making fun of each other, and you're talking about bacon on pizza, and it's honestly, it takes the sport so much farther than it has been. And I think that's really kind of the beauty of what you guys are doing. So whatever that's
really appreciate that. Yeah. I think that, like, you know, me and Heber are just, for one, we're fans of the sport, but we're also part of the community, and we're storytellers, and it's somewhat entertaining. So I think that it's made for like a really cool way to like tell stories that we want to tell that are entertaining. Like we always like sit down and kind of try and come up with a good plan of like what we're going to show people, or how can we like do something that we haven't done, or continue to evolve. And it's been a crazy journey, and it's been just something that I'm super passionate about. It's fun to be a part of this, and could continually try and push the envelope, but try and adapt to the changes that keep coming. And yeah.
Well, it's the work that you guys are doing that's actually keeping me fit, because every time there's an event, I'm like, damn, I got to get my shit together before I go there. Because a lot of people got cameras, and God forbid if Heber or Mars whips out a camera and I'm on it looking chubby. So
Just gotta be ready for the Buttery Bros to swing their camera your way.
hey, you do. I mean, come on,
In all seriousness, for me, like I take that very seriously. Like as a representative, I'll tell this story. So you guys might have heard the story. Dan Bailey gave me diabetes. Do you guys know the story?
I don't know this.
No, I've not heard this.
He didn't really give me diabetes, but in 2013, I was like, Dan, I need to put on some weight. I need to get stronger. He's like, I got it. You got to eat everything, and we're just going to back squat all the time. And I was like, okay. And he sent me this email that was sort of tongue in cheek, where he was like, here's your squat program for the week. If you haven't already eaten 5 eggs and 4 pancakes with chocolate peanut butter on top of it with a donut, you're already behind. And I was like, done. So for every night for like 3 months, I was eating a pint of ice cream. I was waking up and having like Snickers with my oatmeal and eggs, and like Twizzlers with my lunch, and like I just had everything. And I put
Can I just pause you for a second? Every female in the world fucking hates you right now. Like
So,
I can't have like a rice cake with what eats. Anyway, keep going.
So I worked really hard and I got up to 175 pounds. It was not a good 100. It was not a good additional 15 pounds on my frame. And I went out on a shoot for CrossFit where we were in Lake Powell, and we were with Jenny LeBaugh, who was popular at the time, and her boyfriend, who we were doing a feature on, who was a professional water skier. And we were with a bunch of professional water skiers, and a guy from HO Skis was there, who's a big ski company. And this driver from Nitro Circus was there. He was our boat driver for the shoot. And I remember being there as like a representative of this fitness and health company. And I just looked, like in my mind, I just looked kind of gross. And I was like, I can't be a representative of this thing. And especially now that I'm on camera a lot, I can't be like a face and a representative of the health industry and motivate people to want to better themselves if I don't feel like I look good, look good, feel good, play good.
Yeah.
And so after that trip, I was like, okay, I'm making changes in my life. and ironically, it was like a month later, Dan Bailey moved back to Santa Cruz. And basically I just trained and did whatever Dan did for 3 months from August through October. And I lost all that weight really fast when I was training as much as Dan was.
I still remember the day, like we were playing sand volleyball in Santa Cruz, and we were with a buddy that we hadn't seen in a while. And he just looks across the court at Heber and he goes, Heber, you got bigger. And I was like, it's almost like you don't see your kids grow up until one day they're just old, and I'm like, holy shit, Heber's fat. Can I have to stop myself from getting a complex. Try standing next to the fittest people constantly on every live stream and being holding a mic, being I hope I don't look too gross next to you. How was that workout? How do you feel? It's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
I legit worry about this style. It was a tongue-in-cheek joke, but it's true. You go to these events and I worry people are going to look at me and go, okay, no wonder he's good at making jokes. He's a big fat ass and doesn't work out at all. And I'm like, I work out all the time. It's so, and it's even worse as you get, you guys will find out. You get old like me, shit slows down quick, so it's tough. And it feels like an obligation. Most these days for me, it feels like an obligation to continue to send a positive message to people that you can age gracefully. Well, I don't know if I'm aging gracefully, but you can you can
fine wine.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think especially now with COVID-19 and people not having access to gyms, I think it's easy for people to, and people say that, but I see everyone posting home videos. But I'll post a picture of myself working out, and I get surprised when people are like, hey man, I saw that and I thought this was really cool. And now I'm motivated to work out. And I'm like, that's weird. But I think that's a real problem today, which is people are they don't have that community aspect of going to the gym. So going virtually online and helping people want to do that is, I think, a really important thing that we have the ability to push right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's definitely we joke about it, but it's a fine balance for everyone, doing things for your health because they're good for you, because that you want to be able to play with your kids longer, bring all your groceries up the stairs at once, and look good, feel good, play good. Just like you said, that's something that we need to work to do better in being good to ourselves about, especially in lockdown. But being a motivator for people, being a good representative of CrossFit, of this health and wellness program, and of just everything we're doing, it's all sort of all encompassed at this point. So yeah, it's important to continue sending that positivity and just reminding each other that we're in this together. We got this. We can keep moving. We can keep eating healthy. We can keep splurging on pancakes. It's all good. It's all fine.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of what's been cool about our show is we don't take ourselves too serious, and we don't we nerd out on a lot of stuff, but it's we don't try and be these people that people come to for the most, I don't know, I'm not a wealth of knowledge, but it's just I'm here to entertain and make people laugh for the most part. We go really hard in workouts, and I probably don't do stretching much as I should, but
weird. That's so bizarre.
So there's everybody has their thing that they can work on, so it's everybody's just trying to look good naked, I guess.
Yeah, that's I say that constantly. I'm just trying to look halfway okay naked.
Yeah.
Where I'm going.
What
That's
is
the whole
halfway
point.
okay naked? Like, where's that?
Like, I
line?
don't need to be all the way okay naked because like ain't nobody see me naked but my husband. But like as long as he don't think I'm gross, then I'm good. Like I don't need
Yeah.
abs, but like maybe like the top ab, just the one.
Got
The top
one or
ab.
two.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I see that 2-pack, baby.
What's up?
See, Nikki, when
What's
you're
funny
sitting,
is,
oh, go ahead.
Say again?
I was just gonna say, what's funny is like since I played college football until now, it's like I could eat a lot or a little, but my weight doesn't change. I feel like I'm, in for a rude awakening when it all slows down. But I literally have had the same physique probably for like since I got done with school. So I mean, I've become fitter, but I just can't really like put on size or lose size, and I am who I am.
Dude, guys suck. This is not fair. This is totally not fair. This is how it is in my house too. Whenever my husband is like, "Oh, I really need to like lose a couple pounds. I'll just stop drinking beers midweek or something." And all of a sudden it's like gone.
Midweek
Ugh.
beers, and I'm good.
Come on, man. That's not fair. I can't like sniff a bagel. I can't fit into my pants.
Tuesday to Friday, I'm dry.
Yeah, damn it. Way less fun in quarantine, but it works.
Wow. Now we all know you sniff bagels. So that's good to know.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know, I'm getting real deep with y'all.
I know it's a little weird. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys being on. It's been super
Yeah.
fun. I said before, I know I doubt you guys underestimate it, but I think your impact to the community is really tremendous. You were kind of talking about it there at the end around, people watch what you do and I think they try to emulate it. I think you guys are making a big impact to people in quarantine right now that are looking for something to stay motivated. So, we just really appreciate what you're doing. Keep doing it. If you could go to 2 episodes a week, that'd be great. So just double up,
Pressure.
Well, very, very much appreciate that, and happy to be making content. And it's cool to have a positive impact on people's lives, and if it motivates them to move or just have a better attitude or just laugh a little, then it's a good day.
Agreed.
Yeah. We're humbled, and thank you guys for what you guys are doing. I've been a huge fan of the Make Wads Great Again account for a while, and it's cool that you guys have got a podcast going on now.
Yeah, this has been fun. I have no idea why people listen to us, but it's been a good time.
Yeah, it's been growing quick. We've been really pleased with the growth of the podcast. Nikki keeps saying we don't know what we're doing, and I think she's right most of the time. I honestly think we've done a good job of getting interesting people like you guys, and I think that's what people really kind of gravitate to. They want, it is funny how people become fans of what we all do, and like because it's funny. Marston was saying that, like people will message me, for instance, and they go, "Oh, I saw this workout you did," and they'll send me their time. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I can't tell if they're humble bragging, trying to make me feel bad about my time, or just trying to connect with me. And I honestly have learned it's the latter. They're just trying to connect with you. They sometimes they're trying to make me feel bad, and I feel bad regardless. But
I know what you mean, because like I started doing this litter box dance. I wouldn't even call it a dance. It's a move. I don't even trademark, whatever. But like now people will come up and be like, "Can we do that litter box thing? Is that okay?" And I'm like, "Sure, we're all going to look like fools, but I'm glad we all look like fools together."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. It was really fun to hang out.
Yeah.
Let's do it again in person soon.
Yes, please.
Yep. Super fun. I expect the next documentary to be called The Asterisk. I'll be on that one telling my story. And
Asterisk on there.
There you go. And we appreciate it. Well, guys, thanks so much. Nikki, great to see you again, as always. To everyone listening, thanks for being on, and we will chat with you all soon.